Welcome to Inside the 18, presented by U.S. Cellular. I'm Amanda Mazey with women's head coach Nikki Izzo Brown. Coach, you went on the road this weekend, opened up Big 12 play at Baylor, at Texas. Only one game off in between those tough games. 1-for-1. Not exactly how you hoped this road trip would go to open Big 12 play.
Yeah, it's always tough to get on the road and have to play two tough opponents in Texas. But, we definitely saw some things that we need to work on. And moving forward in Big 12 play, we just got to kind of tighten up and make sure that this Friday's an important game for us to make sure that we fix it and move on.
Against Baylor, gave up a goal late in the game, but you guys were able to overcome that, force overtime, and then win that game. Against Texas, gave up another late goal, couldn't overcome that one. So what do you teach your team going forward, looking specifically at those two games and how you won and how you lost?
Yeah, just how important, finishing our opportunities are. You never know in a game. It could boil down to a bad call. It could boil down to anything, and we just want to control our own destiny. And we had chances, and we just couldn't finish. And moving forward, we just have to understand the importance of shutouts and finishing our opportunities.
Have this whole week off. You play first time opponent Kansas State. This is they're new to this conference, new to you guys. Playing against them, you go down to Kansas State in Manhattan. So just talk about playing a first-time opponent and what are you expecting from the Wildcats?
Yeah, starting the program that I did here at West Virginia, it's obviously coach has done a great job. They've been around, I think, now 3 years, so he's really recruited well and brought that program up quickly. So we know they're going to be tough, and obviously every team's going to play us tough. We have a big target on our back, so we know it's going to be a tough game in Manhattan.
And then you'll come home for a nice little home swing after being on the road for 3 weeks. All right, Coach, good luck, and we'll see you next week. Coach LeBlanc joining me now inside the studio. Coach, another win Saturday night against Dayton. You're off to your best start in your tenure. You have really been preaching one game at a time. That's the mentality of your team this year, and it seems like the guys are really buying in.
Yeah, I think the idea is that we don't get ahead of ourselves, and I think it's easy to do that, especially when things are going well. So I'd even take it a little bit further, and it's more so even just one day at a time, one practice at a time, one moment at a time. We've embraced it, and we've done pretty well with it.
You play Pitt tonight up in Pittsburgh. This is going to mark the end of a 5-game stretch over a 14-day period. Just talk about how your guys are toughing it out. That's a lot of games in a short amount of time, especially for just how physical soccer is.
Yeah, it's been a brutal stretch for us. And to add on top of it, it's been pretty much on the road for most of it. So it's been a lot of travel, a lot of hard work, a lot of grinding, but hopefully we can go out and get one more win on the road against Pitt, and we look forward to coming home for a few games after that.
One of which, the next home game will be Pacific. They've been ranked much of the season. This is your last non-conference game before you start mid-American conference play. Just talk about what you're expecting from Pacific, and it's one last test before you start conference play going for a title.
Yeah, don't know a whole lot about them just yet because of that whole one day at a time mentality. But we do know how well they've been doing overall. Very, very good team. Fantastic run in the NCAA tournament last year. And arguably one of the top 20 teams in America at the moment.
Absolutely. All right, so that will be October 1st, this Sunday at home. The men return home, and it'd be nice to have some games at home after this brutal stretch. All right, well, we know what we want to see you do against Pitt, so I can't say that. I might lose my job, but good luck.
Thank you.
And we'll see you here next week. Thank you for joining us on this week's edition of Inside the 18, presented by U.S. Cellular.